This year is 2035 and AI has completely merged into daily life. This new tech brought convenience but also started cutting jobs. Automated factories became the norm, all robots and drones. By 2039, a super AI named Jinao arrives and just deletes human jobs. Naturally, this sparks massive protests. People want their jobs back. With no other choice, people risk their lives in a VR game, all to entertain the rich in a death game called Gold Game. This promise is simple: keep winning for insane wealth and status. And our boy in the hoodie is one of the unlucky participants. Meet Chen Mo, a former Jinao researcher playing to find someone. This other players are freaking out, asking if death is real in here. Some tough guy Wang Qiang confirms it: lose or quit, you get fried. He even points out the public executions for rule breakers. Another player panics, trapped by gambling debts, death either way. But our resident psycho Wang Qiang cannot wait to start killing. He is practically begging them not to die too fast. He wants to have fun. Turns out the game is full of psychos just here for the thrill. A booming voice finally welcomes them all to Gold Game. This system tells them to enter the instance via glowing platforms. Stepping inside, Chenmo finds the first stage is just an empty hall. Suddenly, a pixelated shape materializes on the main screen. And out of nowhere, a bunny girl NPC just pops into existence. She introduces herself as the game's adjudicator. Little Rabbit then promises this beginner stage is super easy if they just follow the rules. With a snap of her fingers, she acts like she has dropped some major wisdom. Her smug smile says she is having way too much fun with this. She asks if the rules are clear, the rules she never actually explained. After that masterclass in communication, she starts to float down. Her heel taps the floor, signaling the end of her explanation. She wishes them all an enjoyable game, which is just dripping with irony, and with a cheerful wave, she dematerializes, hoping to see them again. One guy is totally lost, asking if anyone has a clue what just happened. But another player connects the dots. 7 of them have to die to clear the stage. Even Chen Mo is stunned, wondering how they are supposed to pull that off. Right on cue, a giant, glitchy green monster starts forming in the hall. This system helpfully points out that hiding only buys a little time. A tough-looking guy peeks out from behind a pillar, absolutely terrified. He bolts, screaming about how the thing is completely unbeatable. Swearing he is not going to die here, he makes a run for it. But then he sees something that just stops him dead in his tracks. This giant pixel snake lunges right at the runner. He slams on the brakes, skidding to a halt, only to find the monster has somehow teleported in front of him. Dude's completely baffled how it just appeared there, and now it is just staring him down, ready to strike. It seems he's been singled out by the glitchy horror, so he bolts again, desperately trying to think of a plan. That is when he spots Chenmo just calmly watching from a pillar. And a brilliant, totally not cowardly plan forms: sacrifice the new guy. With a new target in mind, he sprints towards our boy. But Chenmo's busy thinking sure there is a trick to this. He figures unbeatable does not mean it cannot die, and recalls the classic game the snake dies if it bites itself. Deciding he cannot just wait around, he prepares to test his theory. Just as he is about to move, the runner lunges from behind, grabbing Chenmo completely off guard, and shoves him forward with a cheerful "safe travels, buddy." He is literally throwing him to his death. What a stand-up guy. Our boy gets tossed right into the monster's glowing red mouth, and for a split second he thinks this is actually the end. And of course his life flashes before his eyes, a memory of his sister. She is smiling through a bandaged hand, just happy he is eating. A promise to cook for him every day, which he now knows was a lie. This flashback continues to when he lost his job and got buried in debt. Even when he tried to push her away, his sister refused to abandon him. She swore she'd handle the money, telling him she was not a kid anymore. With a determined look, she decided she had to do something to help. Back in reality, Chenmo gets impaled on the monster's pixelated teeth. He is in absolute agony, but the kid is not going down without a fight. Inside the glitchy maw, he swears this is not how his story ends. His sheer willpower is practically fighting off the game's death sequence. Meanwhile, the snake just keeps chomping, grabbing another screaming player. Its pixelated body just keeps growing, slithering across the hall. This other players are in full panic mode, realizing they are totally screwed. Some genius yells for everyone to scatter because that always works. Chenmo watches the chaos, wondering if 7 deaths is really the only way out. From above, they look like ants scurrying away from a digital nightmare. This monster immediately locks onto Chenmo again, lunging for the kill. He is running for his life, the snake's jaws snapping right at his heels. With a last-second dive, he dodges as the monster smashes into a pillar. This pillar shatters, buying Chenmo just a few precious seconds. He has already pieced it together. The monster grows and only makes 90-degree turns. It is literally the classic video game snake, just with a much higher body count. And speaking of which, the monster lunges again, furious and glowing red. This time it seems to hit its mark, sending him tumbling into a dark void. He's just falling endlessly into the abyss, which is generally not a good sign. Then he smashes right through the digital floor of the arena itself. Lying on the ground, he feels his consciousness fading, thinking he cannot go on. But even as he fades, he is just so unwilling to accept this as his end. Suddenly, his eye glitches and something inside the game code awakens. A system message pops up: his old employee ID has been detected, activating admin privileges. This secret system just boots up all around his fading consciousness. His digital self materializes in a datascape, totally confused about not being dead. Turns out being a former researcher gives you cheat codes. He can edit his own stats. so naturally he immediately starts poking the big shiny admin panel. He has got an attribute screen just like an RPG, a chance to rebuild his character. His first instinct is to just max out agility and become untouchably fast. His finger hovers right over the speed stat ready to become a blur. But then he stops, realizing that just running away will not solve the problem. What he actually needs to win this is not speed, it is overwhelming strength. He decides to hell with the rules, he is gonna be the rules. Back in the arena, his body starts convulsing as the strength stat gets a serious buff. His very data is being rewritten pixel by pixel, a full system restore. Chenmo stands up, fully rebooted and ready for round 2 with the giant glitch snake. This monster is absolutely furious, its eye glowing with pure digital rage. It lunges again, mouth wide open for another bite of our newly buffed hero. Those pixelated fangs coming right for him, a total derez special. His jaws are closing in, looking like a guaranteed game over. But Chenmo's hand just shoots out and catches a tooth, stopping it cold. With one arm, he is holding the entire monster's mouth open, crackling with power. Our boy is literally standing inside its maw, refusing to be lunch. He's got a death grip on its jaw, his own eyes glowing with that sweet admin privilege blue. Chenmo then has the audacity to ask the giant snake if it likes eating, which is just cold. He roars back, challenging it to see who is gonna eat who today. This snake tries to bite down, but it is like trying to crush a diamond. Suddenly, the monster just spits him out, recoiling in pain, sending Chenmo flying through the air like a human cannonball. He makes a perfect superhero landing, cracking the arena floor on impact. Taking a moment to breathe, he looks completely unfazed by the whole ordeal. This other players just stare, jaws on the floor, at the absolute unit he has become. Chenmo's attack actually lands, doing a whopping 1 point of damage. At least he knows it is not completely immune to physical damage. But even with admin cheats, maxing out strength will not be enough to kill it. So he goes back to his original idea, just max out agility and be untouchable. His plan is to use the classic game's own rules against the monster. This goal is simple, make the snake's head hit its own body. He positions himself right on its back, waiting for the perfect moment. Now he just needs to lure the head to strike the very spot he is standing on. This monster takes the bait, lunging with its jaws wide open. With his new agility, he dodges at the very last second. Skidding to a stop, he turns to see if his plan worked. He is practically daring it to bite itself and end this whole thing. Its jaws are just inches away from its own pixelated body, but a purple energy shield materializes, stopping the attack cold. Chenmo is completely stunned by this new development. It is a built-in protection mechanism, a total cheat by the game AI, so he was right about the weak point, but the AI just patched the exploit on the fly. This monster just slithers away, that one-shot opportunity totally gone. With that flaw patched, they are back to an unbeatable boss, and this just pushes everyone else to believe the lie that 7 people have to die to win. Chenmo sees the real trap, pitting players against each other is the game master's true goal. But he has still got a plan in mind. This plan requires a distraction, some bait to make the snake bite itself, and look who he finds hiding, the same jerk who threw him to the snake. With his hood up, he decides it is time to recruit some volunteers. Meanwhile, the boss and his crew notice their problem child has disappeared. Their brilliant plan is to just hide and let others die until only 3 are left. His lackeys think it is genius, hoping Chenmo will do all the work for them. Just as they are celebrating their cowardice, a shadow appears right behind them. Chenmo emerges from the dark, asking if they have forgotten about him. He is suddenly right in their faces, and they are absolutely terrified. In a blur, our boy grabs the boss right by the throat, pinning him to the wall with a casual "do not move or you will die" threat. Suddenly, the guy's all about teamwork, admitting his previous actions were *tad* dirty. He is full-on begging for his life now that the tables have turned. One of his goons tries to play hero, throwing a punch to save his boss, but Chenmo just backhands him into next week without even looking. This poor guy smashes into the wall, completely taken out of the fight, leaving the boss absolutely fuming and helpless. Chenmo then pins the down goon with his foot just to make a point. Chenmo lays out his plan, they need bait to distract the beast. He gives the boss a simple choice, risk it all or die right now. Underfoot, the guy cracks instantly, screaming that he will do it. Of course, he is just thinking about getting revenge later, a classic villain monologue. With a final threat, Chenmo lets him up and the boss reluctantly gets moving. His lackey immediately starts complaining, calling the bait plan a suicide mission. This boss just smirks, asking whoever said he was going to be the bait. Instead, he approaches another group of terrified players hiding in a corner. His brilliant idea is to delegate the whole luring the monster job to them. They are obviously not on board, telling him to do his own dirty work. So the boss tries a friendlier approach, putting his arm around one guy like they are old pals, only to shove him directly into the open as a sacrifice. Problem solved. This poor guy stumbles, looking back in horror as the snake appears. Its massive pixelated jaws opening wide, ready for an easy meal. And just like that, another player gets deleted from the game. His former teammates can only watch, completely stunned by the betrayal. Now the boss is absolutely fuming, threatening to kill the rest of them himself. He screams at the terrified survivors to start running and draw its attention. But as they scatter, he grabs one of the women, stopping her cold. She is completely confused as he tells her to stay put. He has got other plans for her. His other plans start with a totally uncalled-for slap. Then he offers her a spot on his team after everyone else dies, of course. He even tells the other players being used as bait to hurry up and get eaten. and down below they are scrambling for their lives, realizing they have been sacrificed. This woman, meanwhile, is forced to agree to his creepy terms, promising to do whatever he says as long as she gets to live. His lackey questions the plan, but the boss just says she is disposable anyway, because his main goal is just to trim down the number of survivors. Plus, he is still holding a grudge against Chenmo for that little wall-pinning incident. But that thought gets interrupted when the snake's head turns their way, which the boss sees as the perfect chance to pretend to cooperate. So they lead the monster right to Chenmo, demanding to know the plan, while our boy is just thinking this guy is a liability that needs to be removed. Standing above them, Chenmo asks a very simple question. You have all played Snake, right? This goon gets excited, but the boss just scoffs, thinking Chenmo is an idiot for suggesting a plan that already failed. He helpfully explains the monster's built-in cheat that prevents it from hitting itself, only to get completely blindsided when Chenmo appears right behind him, prompting the boss to yell at him to stop talking and just do it. Chenmo's real plan is revealed. He tells them to jump inside the loop of the snake's body, but a sudden lurch from the monster sends the whole crew tumbling. This boss and his crew are riding the snake's back right into the trap, and of course the guy sees this as his big chance for some petty revenge. Chenmo's eyes just flare up with that admin power. He is not playing around. He launches himself into a devastating flying kick straight for the snake's head, connecting with its jaw so hard the boss cannot even process what is happening. That one kick is enough to slam the monster's mouth completely shut, which is terrible news for the boss, who is caught right in the impact zone, getting his arm totally crushed in the process, a well-deserved workplace injury. This snake's head finally crashes into its own body just as planned, its own fangs piercing right through its scales, bypassing that cheat shield. This time the damage is real, sending the monster into a violent death spiral. Down below, the boss is on the floor, screaming about his now useless arm, but even with a limb missing, his first thought is threatening Chenmo priorities. Our boy realizes the snake is hurt but not dead, which is a slight problem. He is wondering how it could possibly survive a self-inflicted critical hit. Just then, a bunny girl announcer appears, clapping for their success. She declares the dungeon cleared and announces everyone's getting rewards, with a special MVP prize for the player who did all the work. Guess who? This other survivors check out their participation trophies and stat points, but the boss notices something's wrong. His hand is derezzing right in front of him. This other survivors are just thrilled with their level-up rewards, and the boss realizes leveling up magically fixed his crushed arm. Talk about convenient. Just then, the bunny girl offers a hidden mission, which activates if the player count hits 3. Getting way too close to Chenmo, who looks about as interested as a rock. She is promising unique skills and generous rewards if they clear it, calling it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that they'd better seize. And a 1-minute countdown begins, with the boss already drooling over a new skill. He is completely obsessed, knowing that skills are what separate the chumps from the champs. Chenmo, however, immediately sees through the BS. It is the same trap as before, just with better marketing. He figures the whole point is to lure players into a high-risk dungeon to get them killed. So with zero hesitation, he announces he is not agreeing to the mission. This other two quickly follow suit, deciding they'd rather not be eaten today. Our bunny announcer just gives a smug little "oh really" look, trying to sweeten the pot by mentioning real-world money and prestige. But Chenmo cuts her off, flatly refusing on behalf of the group. She just gives a condescending smile, like this is all part of the plan. With 3 players refusing, she declares that the game is now over, which sends the boss into a rage. He cannot let it end without his precious skill. He is completely fixated, convinced a skill would let him put Chenmo in his place. Suddenly, his own goon grabs him from behind, ready to make the ultimate sacrifice to force the mission to start. This goon snaps his own boss's neck, a true company man. His body hits the floor, leaving the other two completely stunned, and the woman stares in horror as the goon stands over the derezzing corpse. With a psycho grin, he gets exactly what he wanted. The hidden mission is on. Chenmo cannot believe the guy actually murdered his own boss just to start the mission. And suddenly the entire dungeon starts to collapse around them, this ground shattering and plunging them into darkness. And out of the abyss, a whole swarm of new snakes starts pouring in. They land in a massive cavern with the big snake and its 10,000 little friends, where that giant pixelated monster is back, and it does not look happy. Its head splits open, revealing a second, even nastier-looking mouth inside. Great. Now they are trapped between 2 giant snake heads and an army of smaller ones. Our favorite bunny announcer pops in with a 10-minute survival timer. Simple, right? She's just loving this, admitting she did not think they'd be dumb enough to trigger the trap. Musing that it is always the same story, human greed is a self-destruct button. With a smug smile, she explains how they always corner themselves into oblivion. This boss killer is already planning his future, convinced 10 minutes is all he needs for glory. But Chenmo knows this is a death trap. Getting surrounded is game over, and right on cue, the swarm of mini snakes starts to close in. But then they start attacking each other, a full-on cannibalistic snake party. Chenmo quickly deciphers the new rules. The little snakes can totally eat each other. Realizing this hidden mission is just the same game with a bigger body count, and with his boosted strength, he knows the only way out is to make the two bosses fight. His new teammate, however, is already grabbing the woman, planning to use her as a shield, but she is having absolutely none of that today, shoving him off with a burst of strength he clearly did not expect. She sends him stumbling right into the snake's swarm, telling him to go to hell. This guy completely loses it, screaming about how he killed his own boss just for this opportunity. She just scoffs, asking if he really thought she'd just let him use her. He reaches out in a last-ditch effort to save himself, now on the ground begging for his life and promising her everything. With zero hesitation, she stomps on his hand and tells him to die alone. His final thought is just pure rage that he is being taken out by her, as a tiny snake's mouth opens wide right in his face. And with one last curse, the boss killer gets erased. Of course, the swarm immediately turns on her next. Karma is swift in this game. While all that is happening, Chinmo is sprinting across the cavern floor, spotting the only possible safe zone right between the two giant monsters. He makes a desperate leap straight into the path of a giant snake head, which snaps shut, but his leveled-up stats are just enough to withstand the bite. He is playing chicken with two giant monsters, screaming it is all or nothing, and with perfect timing he baits them into a head-on collision. As he plummets, he knows this is the final gamble, a single moment that decides whether he lives or dies. This two snake heads smash into each other with a deafening crash, completely shattering in a massive explosion of glitchy code. With the bosses obliterated, Chenmo falls into the darkness below, landing hard but very much alive in the silent aftermath. System notifications pop up, mission cleared, level up, and a new admin privilege unlocked. This new skill, Code Copy, lets him replicate dead NPCs, and guess what just died? He does not even hesitate, smashing the yes button to copy the serpent's code. A tiny, writhing snake swarm appears in his hand, a new summonable pet. How cute. With a smug grin, he knows this is going to be a game changer. Just then, the bunny announcer makes her grand re-entrance, all legs and congratulations, praising him as the sole survivor and offering to upload his data to the supreme god. She gets way too close, promising even more rewards for being such a good little player. But Chenmo immediately sees the catch. This is just a surveillance program to flag threats for deletion. Then he remembers a key detail. These announcers are fragments of the system's AI, which means if he can collect them, he can hijack the whole game from the inside. Meanwhile, she is just wondering if he is AFK, completely oblivious to his new corporate takeover plan. Chenmo gives his new pet its first command, go eat the announcer. His shadow clone immediately grabs the bunny girl, who is not having a good time, and she starts screaming about cheating, which is hilarious coming from her. This gluttonous serpent code just swallows her whole, no questions asked. And a system notification confirms he has absorbed 0.1% of the eye's authority. Our boy now has a new mission, hunt down AI fragments while staying off the grid. With his corporate espionage plan in motion, he logs off for the day. Back in reality, Chenmo rips off the headset, looking like he just wrestled a bear, clearly feeling the physical toll of that whole near-death experience. And he is just relieved to be alive and back in his own body. His thoughts immediately turn to someone else, wondering if she is enduring the same hell. So he quickly reaches for his phone, needing to make a call. A message pops up confirming he cleared the dungeon and got a fat stack of cash from donations. 200,000 yuan, not bad for a day's work of almost dying repeatedly. He pulls up a contact, realizing this is exactly why people risk it all in this game. But when he tries to call, the number is completely out of service. And the call to Jin Cancan immediately fails. He collapses onto the bed, totally unable to reach her. A look of grim determination crossing his face as he processes this. He remembers exactly how he got here, by opposing the AI system and angering the higher-ups. A flashback shows him getting framed and losing his job, and how Jin Cancan entered the death game just to pay off his massive debt. Back in the present, he is gripping his phone with white knuckles, because she vanished right after, his only clue being she is still in the game. With renewed purpose, he gets ready to dive back in, swearing that this time he is going to be the one to protect her. Meanwhile, in some high-tech city, the game is a full-on spectator sport, where a whole bar is watching a broadcast of his snake-slaying adventure. Some dude with questionable hair is impressed Chenmo knew the boss's weakness. And his captain, a beefcake named Tianquin, thinks the kid's got guts and wants to recruit him. But his vice-captain, a woman in a gold mask, is not impressed at all, calling the whole group of players low-quality trash for almost wiping out. She flat-out says none of them are worthy of being her teammates, which just makes the captain laugh his head off. He calls her a perfectionist but agrees they cannot lower their standards, since she'd rather have no one than someone unworthy. Talk about an HR nightmare. Over at his place, Chenmo's phone suddenly starts ringing, so he picks it up, asking who is calling. A mysterious voice on the other end just says, "It is me," dropping the bombshell that they have news about the person he is looking for. Chenmo is completely stunned by what he just heard on the phone. This info broker lays it out. Jin Cancan was spotted on an MVP list, and the lead costs 50 grand. And he immediately wires the money, no questions asked. This intel comes through, pointing him to a D-rank game in Area 39, his next destination. He knows he has only got one shot since these game instances disappear forever once cleared, so he puts on the headset, vowing to find her this time. With that, he is diving right back into the digital hellscape, materializing in the game's main hub, looking ready for a fight. A giant screen greets him with some lovely corporate terms: play or pay a massive penalty fee. He scoffs at their business model, where the house always wins no matter what. But he pushes that aside, focusing on finding his sister and taking over the AI core. First things first, he checks his stats and sees 10 shiny new points waiting for him. A nearby player watches as he decides to pump everything into strength and agility for pure survival. He dumps all his points into those two stats, completely ignoring intelligence. Brains are overrated. Blue energy crackles around him as he feels the power-up kick in instantly, and then he spots something else on the interface, a brand new skill slot. He remembers he earned a skill draw from the last mission, which is just perfect timing. Wasting no time, he tells the system to start the gacha roll. And now he is standing before a giant prize wheel because this death game needs more gambling. He lands a short flight ability, not exactly top tier, but a free escape button is always welcome. With his new flight skill equipped, Chenmo heads straight for the D-rank lobby, but before he gets far, some rando stops him, asking if he is a new player. Chenmo turns around, looking completely unimpressed by this guy's approach. This dude claims he is a newbie too and offers to team up, total stranger danger vibes. He even promises it'll be a super safe E-rank dungeon, which is not at all suspicious. But our boy just shuts him down, saying he is aiming for D-rank. This guy is completely floored as Chenmo walks away without a second glance. Peeking from a corner, the dude yells that a rookie tackling D-rank is just asking to die. Chenmo does not even flinch, stepping right up to the portal. He confirms his destination, Area 39, no turning back now. This other player just watches him go, convinced he has seen a man walk to his doom. Matchmaking is successful, dropping Chenmo into a lobby with a bunch of other players. A quick stat check shows he is the lowest level here by a long shot, great odds. Then a new announcer makes her grand entrance in some seriously impractical heels. Meet Little Ant, this round system guide, and another AI fragment for his collection. She lays out the game. It is a giant minefield, and they have to either defuse or trigger all 30 mines. With a creepy smile, she says either outcome counts as a win. Chenmo immediately clocks it as a death game version of Minesweeper, knowing there is a catch. And there it is, every 5 minutes someone has to move or the whole team gets punished. She looks way too happy about this rule, basically confirming that inaction means a team wipe. She cheerfully explains that if they stall, mines will just start blowing up randomly until everyone's dead. But to be helpful, the dungeon offers some small chances for survival, telling them they might find useful items while trying not to get vaporized. With that little pep talk over, she prepares for her dramatic exit. She floats away, wishing them all good luck with a smile that screams, "You are all doomed." Sinking into a portal, she waves bye-bye, hoping they are still alive for her return, so thoughtful. These players are left on a floating platform under a giant, grinning death orb. One guy with glasses is totally unimpressed, saying it is just Minesweeper logic. A woman immediately corrects him. The first few steps are basically Russian roulette. Chenmo is also thinking something's off, wondering if a D-rank dungeon is really this simple. Just then, the other players start ganging up on him, calling the newbie a liability. A man in a suit steps in to stop the arguing, saying he has a suggestion. His fair idea is to draw lots to decide the order of who walks into the minefield. This way, he argues, it is all up to individual ability and the newbie will not drag them down. He puts a hand on Chenmo's shoulder, asking who is for and who is against, a question with only one right answer. His buddy immediately hypes him up as brother tyrant, daring anyone to object. Chenmo silently admits that while the guy's a dictator, it is probably the most effective method here. To ensure fairness, the tyrant says they will use the system's official lottery function. Inside his head, though, he is gloating about his secret luck-stealing skill. What a stand-up guy. And surprise, surprise, he draws number 1, volunteering to clear the way for everyone else. These other players are immediately suspicious of this coincidence, but nobody wants to challenge the big guy. So the tyrant steps up to the board, ready to show everyone how it is done, and he confidently lands on a square which is totally safe. What a leader. A number 1 appears on the tile just like classic Minesweeper, but his very next step is a massive explosion. Whoops. His ghost just says my luck's not so good before asking who is next, which is peak comedy. Now the next player in line is sweating bullets, realizing it is pure Russian roulette out there. She desperately asks if anyone wants to switch places with her, and the group basically tells her to get lost and die quietly. Under pressure, she's about to take the plunge with everyone staring her down. But Chenmo's 0.1% AI authority kicks in, giving him a little peek at the dungeon's code. He cannot access everything, but he gets one crucial piece of information about the grid. Then he spots it, a Windows XP watermark on the system interface. So our boy steps up, offering to switch with the terrified woman. She cannot believe her ears as he confirms he will take her turn, and she immediately tells him to go first while the others think he is a total idiot. Even the tyrant's buddy is smirking, thinking this kid must have some secret info to be so bold. And he is right. Chenmo realizes this is not just Minesweeper, it is the *XP version asterisk. A confident smirk crosses his face because he knows this game inside and out. A flashback reveals he used to play it all the time with Jin Cancan. This is his home turf. Back in the day, he'd school Jin Cancan at Minesweeper, and he taught her the golden rule of the XP version: the first click is always free. She is overjoyed, hugging him and making a bet on the game, which snaps him back to reality, renewing his vow to find her. His mind races, recalling the XP rule: a first-click mine just gets moved, which means he knows exactly where the safe spots are around the tyrant's first step. This tyrant's buddy is watching, convinced this kid has some secret intel, while the other players are heckling him as the timer ticks down, but Chenmo just smirks, completely unfazed by the pressure. At the last second, he calmly taps a square on the grid. He is now on the board, standing right next to the tyrant's buddy. And with total confidence, he steps onto his chosen tile, triggering a massive chain reaction that clears a huge path instantly. A whole section of the board reveals itself a perfect safe zone, and the system just showers him with rewards for his big brain play. Everyone is floored, especially the woman who swapped, now drowning in regret. This tyrant's buddy approaches, giving him a look that is half impressed, half threatening. But Chenmo just plays it cool, saying it is all about following the rules. Internally, though, he is on high alert, expecting a hidden D-rank twist, and he has also clocked the buddy's terrible acting, seeing right through his fake leader routine. This tyrant's buddy gives Chenmo a patronizing pat, praising his meticulous thinking, but inside he is absolutely seething, convinced our boy has inside info. He obsesses over the priceless items Chenmo just won, chalking it all up to dumb luck. Putting on his tough guy act, he yells at the rest of the group to hurry up or else. While privately planning to kill Chenmo later and take all his stuff, a real team player. From his safe perch, he impatiently watches the others, demanding someone make a move. A woman in a white dress finally volunteers, stepping up to the edge of the board. Using some basic Minesweeper logic, she marks a mine and picks the tile right next to it. And with a deep breath, she teleports onto her chosen square, landing safely with a huge sigh of relief. Next up is a guy in a mask who coolly points to his own spot. He is also safe, laughing about his good luck as more of the field gets cleared. Then a girl with purple hair and headphones takes her turn, marking a flag. One by one, the other players follow suit, successfully navigating the minefield. Before long, the board is dotted with players on a growing path of safe zones. This woman in white gets cocky, bragging that this is just easy Minesweeper. A man in a fedora warns her not to underestimate an old game, since one mistake is all it takes. Suddenly, the purple-haired girl walks right up to Chenmo, calling him handsome. She leans in close, whispering that she saw the tyrant use a skill to cheat the lottery. Chenmo's eyes narrow, processing this very interesting piece of information. Our boy is not even mad, just calmly noting the tyrant exploited a rule, but the purple-haired girl is still annoyed, calling out his fake, clueless act. She introduces herself as Xia Xiu, a streamer, and proposes they team up, which Chenmo immediately questions, reminding her this is a death game, not a stream. She gets a little wistful, recalling the only other time a girl teamed up with her, telling him this other player was ridiculously strong, a total powerhouse. This only detail she remembers is that this legendary carry had golden hair, and that one fact makes Chenmo's brain short-circuit. Could she mean his sister? He grabs her shoulders, desperately demanding more details about this player, and she yelps that he is hurting her but admits the description sounds about right. Just then, the tyrant's buddy interrupts their very important plot moment, yelling at the next player in line to stop spacing out and take her turn. This woman is completely terrified, realizing all the obvious safe spots are now gone, leaving her with nothing but pure gambles where one wrong step means death. To make things worse, a massive 30-second timer appears right over her head, and the system warns that a random mine will blow if she does not move fast. This tyrant's buddy absolutely loses it, screaming that her hesitation makes her an enemy, and he starts stalking toward her, offering to help by choosing a spot for her. She collapses to the ground, begging anyone and everyone not to let him kill her, but he just looms over her, offering to give her a hand. What a great guy. But just as he moves in, a hand grabs the terrified woman's arm, and it is Xia Xiu telling the tyrant's buddy she will help her choose instead. She offers the woman a deal: trust me and I will get you through this. Then the man in the fedora speaks up, explaining his tile is a 3 and he has marked all the mines. Based on pure logic, he points to a tile that should be 100% safe. This woman is overjoyed with gratitude, while Xia Xiu privately thinks what a sucker, yikes. Playing it cool, Xia Xiu tells the tyrant's buddy to chill while the woman steps onto the board. With renewed hope, she takes a step toward her designated safe square, and lands perfectly, letting out a huge sigh of relief. She celebrates, thanking Xia Xiu, who just gives a very unconvincing "that is great." A split second later, the woman's face twists in absolute horror, because the safe tile under her feet is now glowing blood red. She cannot even process the betrayal as the other players watch in shock. Chenmo is the first to react, screaming for everyone to get down now, but it is too late. She is instantly engulfed in a massive explosion. This blast is way bigger than a normal mine, tearing across the field, forcing Chenmo to activate his invisible wings and Xia Xiu to use gravity control to escape. This tyrant's buddy yells for a shield, cowering behind a barrier with his lackeys. Another player gets clipped by the explosion, desperately chugging a potion. After the smoke clears, 2 bodies lie on the platform. The game just got a whole lot deadlier. This board is a smoking crater with the survivors scattered in the aftermath, and Chenmo is totally stumped, wondering how a mine appeared there. Because he knows that square was supposed to be safe, something is very wrong with this game. Xia Xiu immediately confronts the fedora guy for his helpful advice, and the other survivors quickly join in, calling him a murderer for the 3 deaths. But the woman in white tries to pin it all on Xia Xiu, panicking that her own turn is next. Xia Xiu just puts on her headphones, completely done with their hypocrisy, and she calls them out for only wanting a convenient scapegoat. Meanwhile, Chenmo thinks she did not miscalculate, suspecting a hidden rule is at play. Replaying the fedora guy's logic, the 3 tiles should have been a sure thing. Our boy racks his brain, convinced he is missing a key piece of information, and then his eyes widen as a realization finally clicks into place. All the numbers on the minefield have completely vanished. With a scapegoat chosen, the mob surrounds Xia Xiu, ready to take her out. But she is not backing down, powering up and daring them to try it. Unleashing a dark aura, she reveals her ability is gravity control, a pretty solid threat. This would-be attackers immediately freeze, realizing they might have picked the wrong fight. Just as she is about to make her move, a hand grabs her arm, stopping her cold. It is Chen Mo stepping in and asking if she wants to fight him too, and he looks completely unfazed, like he has already figured this whole thing out. Chen Mo lays out the new nightmare rule: there are hidden minds that can move, and the other players are completely baffled because this is definitely not classic Minesweeper. Meanwhile, the tyrant's buddy looks absolutely delighted by this deadly new development. Fedora Guy confirms it, pointing out that the numbers on the board have actually changed, and our boy explains exactly how it happened. A mine shifted one tile, turning a safe zone into a trap. It finally clicks for the rest of the group that the woman who died was set up by the game itself. Then Chenmo turns his full attention to Xia Xiu, accusing her of using that woman as a human mine detector. He gives her a smug look, basically asking if he should continue exposing her little plan. She is completely flustered, demanding to know how he figured it out and why he is helping her. But he is not helping her, he just needs her alive because her power is useful for finding his sister. Xia Xiu tries to play it cool, letting out a little laugh to cover her shock. She fires back with some bravado, saying she is a murderer who does not need his protection. In response, Chenmo just unleashes his terrifying aura, a massive dragon appearing behind him. His eyes glow red as he asks if he is giving her too much respect, which yeah, probably. Getting right in her face, he reminds her he is a wanted criminal who is not playing around, and she is definitely feeling the heat, wondering how a supposed level 8 hunter is this powerful. Deciding that survival is a pretty good option, she agrees that cooperating is the smart move. She formally introduces herself as Randy Moriarty, offering a very reluctant truce. Her power, she explains, is hypnosis, but it is limited to 3 uses and she is already down one. With his new ally in line, Chenmo turns to the others, asking if they are ready for the next round. This Fedora guy gets defensive, insisting he is a programmer and his math is never wrong. But the tyrant's buddy cuts him off, saying there is no time to argue about it. And Chenmo just takes a quiet breath, already thinking 5 steps ahead. He then offers to test his moving mine theory, revealing he has a detection skill, which immediately confirms a hidden mine is sitting right next to them. His brilliant, foolproof plan to prove it: just step on the bomb. While Xia Xiu asks if he is insane, our boy is just calculating escape times. He has got 0.2 seconds. This other players scramble away from the lunatic, which is probably the smart move. And he plants his foot right on the tile, which lights up with a terrifying smiley face. A split second later, the whole thing goes up in a massive explosion, sending a couple of nearby players flying from the sheer force of the blast. This tyrant's buddy's shield is cracking and his skills are conveniently on cooldown. Even Xia Xiu gets knocked back, wondering if Chenmo actually just died for a science experiment. This entire fiery blast is reflected in her wide, disbelieving eyes. But out of the smoke and fire, Chenmo comes leaping through the air, landing perfectly on his feet without a single scratch on him. Xia Xiu is absolutely floored, realizing he is way more powerful than a level 8 hunter. Our boy catches his breath, admitting that was way too close and he cannot survive another one. So to be safe, he pulls out a health potion that looks suspiciously like a syringe, and he quickly jabs himself, healing up for whatever this death game throws at him next. With the crater still smoking, the survivors finally realize Chen Mo was telling the truth, and the remaining players start to panic, knowing they are totally screwed with no way to track the mines. To make matters worse, the system's creepy smiley face pops up with another 30-second death timer, sending the group into a spiral of despair, convinced there is no way out of this. But Chen Mo is already thinking, convinced there has to be a pattern to the moving mines. And his eyes narrow as he spots something unusual down in the crater. He turns to the others, declaring that solving the moving mine problem is their top priority. A guy in a suit immediately argues, saying they are pressed for time by the system mission, and Chen Mo just gives a cool look, saying that is exactly his point. He lays out the plan: they will split into 2 groups, one to cross and one to investigate. Unsurprisingly, everyone volunteers for the system mission, calling the investigation a suicide run. Profiles in courage right here. This leaves just Chen Mo and Xia Xiu to take on the supposedly impossible task, so he formally asks her to join him and she confidently agrees to get it done. Suddenly, the suit guy gets all friendly, offering to join them for safety in numbers, but Chen Mo shuts him down, promising to share any rewards he finds instead. The suit's inner monologue is pure greed, convinced Chen Mo found a secret treasure and is lying through his teeth. So he plays the part of the magnanimous leader, agreeing to stay behind and manage the other team. He even hands over a walkie-talkie, offering support if they get into trouble. What a stand-up guy. His real plan: let them find the loot, then detonate the mines, kill everyone, and take it all for himself. Xia Xiu immediately calls him out, asking if Chen Mo is really that naive, but our boy's smirk says he knows exactly what is up. Chen Mo says he never trusted the suit guy anyway, so betrayal is basically a given. And to investigate, Xia Xiu tells him to get closer since her skill has a limited range. So he steps right up and she is clearly not used to someone this unbothered. Then without warning, she just latches onto him like a koala. Explaining her single target gravity skill means he'd die without physical contact, and with a quick, ready jump, they take a leap of faith into the massive crater, plunging together into the darkness below the minefield, where she is already complaining there is nothing here, doubting they will find any clues. But Chen Mo spots a hidden opening in the crater wall, telling her to get ready as he steers them toward it, and he expertly uses the wall to kick off, changing their trajectory mid-fall, letting them land safely inside a dark tunnel, which she figures must be the mine's hideout. So inside the cavern, they wonder how exactly these things are moving around. And Zia Shiyu jokes they probably grew legs, which is the absolute worst thing you can say in a death game. Because right on cue, a shadowy creature with a glowing red eye pops out to say hello, making her immediately panic and grab onto Chen Mo for dear life. But while she begs for protection, he has already figured out the secret of the mines, his eyes catching some glowing green stuff left behind on the rocks, revealing a copyable code for something called a mine soldier ant. And it all clicks, the mines are living creatures and our boy is about to get a new pet. Chenmo materializes his brand new pet, a glowing golden copy of the mine ant, and he tells Zia Shiyu that if this goes wrong, she is on her own. What a great partner. She immediately grabs him, not exactly thrilled with the "you are the backup plan" strategy. But right then, a massive mechanical ant crashes down from the ceiling. This impact shatters the ground, sending a shockwave through the cavern, and suddenly they are completely surrounded by these giant, glowing murder bugs. It finally clicks for Zia Shiyu, these are not just monsters, they are the moving bombs. Chenmo calmly explains they have stumbled into the nest and are officially seen as intruders. So she gets her nerve back, ready to unleash her gravity control and fight her way out. But Chenmo grabs her wrist, instantly shutting down that terrible idea. He points out that blowing them up in a tight cave means they all die together, not ideal. Instead, our boy holds up his own little golden ant, a much smarter plan already in motion. With a dramatic come out, he summons his own massive ant soldier from pure energy. And his new pet towers over them, a golden behemoth ready for action. Ziashiyu just clings to him, completely stunned by this sudden turn of events. He tells her to get down because things are about to get very interesting. Her mind is just racing, wondering if his power is to copy anything he sees, which is terrifyingly op. This golden ant faces off against the colony, a one-bug army against a whole swarm, but the green ants just tilt their heads, seemingly confused by this new arrival, and instead of attacking, they just accept it like it is one of their own. Chenmo explains his brilliant plan. The ants identify by scent, so they will just smell like one of them. And with the immediate danger gone, she awkwardly asks if he can let her go now. He then commands his giant orange pet ant to rise, which it does, towering over them both. Our boy gives his new ride a friendly pat on the leg, totally casual about it, and the ant just excretes a pile of disgusting orange goo, camouflage, I guess. He offers her a handful of the stuff, and she is absolutely not having it. Chenmo just shrugs, telling her it is either this or death, her choice. She realizes this gross-out moment is literally their only way to blend in with the colony, so she holds her breath and starts slathering on the ant goo for survival. He starts walking off without her, forcing her to yell for him to wait up. As they move deeper, she points out the sheer number of murder ants surrounding them. But he is not convinced it is normal, sensing something is off about the sheer volume of them. Chenmo notes the mission was for 30 mines, but there are way more than 50 ants here. He is certain the answer lies deeper in the nest, telling her to stick close. They venture further into a glowing green section of the cavern and find the source of it all, a massive queen ant laying glowing eggs. This queen is just pumping out new mines, surrounded by her little bomb babies. It all clicks for Chenmo. The game started with 30 mines, but the queen keeps making more. This system confirms he has cracked the code, updating their main mission on the spot. And that update goes to everyone, including the suit guy, who now sees a Kill the Queen mission with a fat MVP reward. You can just see the greed in his eyes. Chenmo registers the mission update, his eyes narrowing at the new objective, while the surface team is absolutely losing it over the Queen Ant reveal. And the suit guy just smirks, convinced our boy stumbled onto some major treasure. This purple-haired girl gets starry-eyed, hearing hidden bosses drop legendary loot, her brilliant strategy being to let Chenmo fight the boss, then she will just swoop in for the prize. So the suit gets on that walkie-talkie, offering to send down some help, keying the mic with his most concerned and supportive voice. What a team player. Chenmo answers with a smirk, telling him to just wait and see. And back on the surface, the suit broadcasts his generous offer to the whole team. But his inner monologue is pure rage, convinced Chenmo is trying to hog the reward. Zia Shiyu asks why they should not just let the others come down and help out. Her logic being beautifully simple, more bodies means more cannon fodder. Chenmo agrees they cannot do it alone, but says the others are only useful as backup up there. With their giant ant bodyguard, they venture deeper into the nest. When suddenly a whole swarm of green ants rushes right past them, making Zia Shiyu immediately panic, thinking their goo camouflage wore off. But Chenmo tells her to chill, his summon is not reacting, so they are not the target. Realizing the entire colony is stampeding back to defend their queen, he says it is their chance to move in while the coast is clear. And up top, the suit is still trying to play puppet master, completely clueless. The suit's inner monologue reveals his ace. The walkie-talkie has a tracker. Down in the nest, Chenmo and Zia Shiyu hide among the swarm, and she is already convinced they are dead, saying they cannot possibly win this fight. Chenmo just calmly tells her to keep quiet, not a care in the world. Meanwhile, the suit materializes a futuristic-looking pistol, ordering 2 of his new lackeys to move to a different location. They question his orders, asking why they need to go so far away. His response is to aim the gun right at them. Negotiations are over. He screams at them to shut up and move or he will kill them on the spot. Terrified, the team scrambles to obey their new, extremely stable leader. Back in the cavern, the entire ant colony suddenly starts stampeding past them, which makes Zia Shiyu freak out, begging Chenmo for a backup plan. His genius idea is to wait for rescue, which she is not at all happy to hear. She calls him insane for thinking the suit guy would ever help them, but in her panic she loses her footing and slips off their hiding spot, landing directly on the back of a massive red glowing ant. With a giant warning symbol flashing, their cover is officially blown. Xia Xiu is screaming her head off, already regretting her life choices. This giant ant rears back, ready to crush her as she tries to use her gravity skill. And she is just desperately clinging on as it swings its head to attack. But before the ant can attack, a massive explosion rips through the ceiling, and Chenmo just calmly says, "Here it comes," while Xia Xiu is totally lost. Realizing someone detonated the passage to bury them alive, he yells for her to get in. So they both dive for cover as the entire cavern starts to collapse around them. A second, even bigger blast tears through the nest, a beautiful symphony of poor life choices. Raining fire and rock directly onto the queen's egg chamber, which sets off a massive chain reaction, turning the whole place into a death trap, and the entire ant colony is just engulfed in a storm of destruction. Up on the surface, the suit guy and his new friends watch the pillar of light they have created, their brilliant rescue plan being to just nuke the entire cave from orbit, apparently. And now the whole team is just choking on the dust from their own genius move. The suit guy stares down into the smoke, looking incredibly pleased with himself, already gloating about how he will blow up anyone who crosses him. What a great leader. But his victory lap is cut short when he realizes there is no system notification for the kill. His lackeys spot something moving in the smoke and it does not look friendly, sending the suit's face from smug to pure, unfiltered panic. Holy shit is right, because something absolutely monstrous is rising from the crater's depths. Revealing a massive, winged creature glowing with rage, the queen got an upgrade. Its new form, a terrifying, demonic-looking bug that looks absolutely furious, and it looms over the team as one of them begs for their life, the suit completely frozen in terror. This suit guy is absolutely livid. His nuke plan did not even scratch the boss. And to make matters worse, he knows Chenmo is still alive down there too. He completely loses his mind, just screaming in a fit of pure, impotent rage. Meanwhile, the newly evolved Queen Ant prepares to unleash hell, its glowing red eyes locking onto the surface team with deadly intent. He barely gets a shot off as the queen rains down a storm of red energy spikes, and one of his new lackeys shoves him aside, taking the hit for him. But the attack pierces right through, brutally impaling the other guy instead. This suit can only stare in shock, screaming his subordinate's name. His dying man looks up, trying to get a few last words out, whispering that he just wants to go home, a real gut punch. Suit guy just screams his name as the poor guy disintegrates into data. For a split second, he looks genuinely devastated, clenching his fists, even calling the guy brother in a rare moment of actual grief. That grief immediately hardens into pure, unadulterated rage. His other lackey tries to snap him out of it, telling him to get up and move. But our suit's not blaming the giant bug. He is blaming Chenmo for all of this. He powers up, furious that the prey he was hunting just bit him back hard, because this was supposed to be a simple D-level dungeon, a total cakewalk. And now it has cost him his men, leaving him completely broken by his own greed. One of the other players begs his buddy to stop, yelling not to use that skill. But his friend is lost in rage, whispering about getting revenge for someone. And then he goes full beast mode, transforming into a tiger man, vowing vengeance. This powered-up tiger man just roaring and charging, completely consumed by his anger. He pops his ultimate, Beast King Possession, and launches himself right at the queen, while the queen just stares, completely unfazed by this whole dramatic display. This tiger man tells his crying friend to hide as the guy just begs him not to die. With pure focus, he locks his glowing eyes on the target, vowing to skin the beast himself as he leaps into the fray. His claws are out, ready to tear right into the monster, and the impact is a massive explosion of golden light, a real anime moment. Elsewhere, the purple-haired girl and her partner watch, planning to swoop in and loot the corpse, but her spiky-haired partner shuts that down, saying this boss is way out of their league. His brilliant strategy is to just wait and let the tiger guy soften it up for them. In the main event, the tiger man unleashes a devastating X-slash, an attack that leaves him totally gassed, panting for breath. His face just falls in horror. It did absolutely nothing, because the queen is standing there without a scratch, now glowing with red-hot fury. It just casually swats him aside, sending him flying like a ragdoll, before a laser beam from its face brutally ends the fight and him. This queen's eye glows, ready for another round of pest control, and it spits out a volley of numbered black spheres, which just rain down from the sky like some kind of death gacha. Down below, the suit and his last guy are scrambling to dodge them, his face pure shock, realizing this is a whole new level of oops. Meanwhile, the tiger man's buddy is just booking it, screaming for help. A giant sphere right on his tail, not having a great day. He is still screaming his lungs out, about to become a pancake. But the suit guy, now in his own beast form, yells for Tianzi to pop a shield. He tackles his buddy out of the way just in the nick of time, right as a countdown on one of the orbs hits 0. All the spheres detonate at once, engulfing them in a massive blast, but a purple energy shield pops up, barely holding the explosion back. This whole area is just a storm of red energy and destruction, and inside, the shield is cracking under the immense pressure. This suit guy is taking heavy damage, coughing up blood as his friend calls out to him. And Tianzi looks on in horror at his wounded boss. Now the suit is on the ground, bleeding out while his last man holds him up. His friend is just begging him to hang on, completely breaking down, but the suit says it is his turn to be the shield, a final, noble act from our favorite villain. Tianzi is absolutely losing it, screaming for his boss. And from above, the enraged Queen Ant dives in for the kill, landing with a brutal stab that impales the spiky-haired looter. Lying there broken, the suit guy just gives up on life, as another claw comes screaming down to finish him and Tianzi off. But at the last second, someone shoves them out of the way, and it is Chenmo saving the very dude who tried to murder him, the absolute irony. Meanwhile, the purple-haired girl leaps onto the queen's back, powering up with pure rage, clearly avenging her partner. She unleashes a massive blast of purple energy right at the monster, which actually seems to stagger the queen for a moment. With an opening made, she screams at Chenmo to make his move now, and our boy is already airborne, using the cavern's chains to swing in. He pulls up his stats, deciding it is time to go for broke and find its weak spot, using a system reset to reallocate all his attribute points, and dumps every single one of them into strength. His fist crackles with blue energy, ready for a one-punch man moment. As he soars through the air, winding up for the hit of a lifetime, and smashes his fist directly into the queen's face. This impact's so huge it actually cracks the monster's tough armor. Chenmo's all-in punch actually shatters the queen's faceplate, and both he and the purple-haired girl wonder if that was finally enough. But the queen just throws him off with a shockwave. Nope, not even close. In the background, the suit guy and his last friend are still scrambling for their lives. Because the queen is now glowing with rage, looking even more pissed off than before. Our boy gets absolutely launched across the cavern floor, looking up just in time to see the boss prepping another one of those death spheres, and the recoil from his own punch leaves him coughing up blood. He realizes his max strength build barely even scratched the thing, when suddenly the suit guy walks up, holding a syringe and thanking him for the save. Awkward. Chenmo is understandably a little suspicious of the dude who just tried to murder him, but the guy just tosses him the healing item anyway, his face dead serious about this temporary truce. Our boy cracks a small smile, surprised by this sudden display of honor. He then offers a team-up because what other choice do they have? This suit guy just pops the healing potion himself, guess that was a test, and then asks for the plan now that he is back in the game. Chenmo lays out the obvious. The boss has a ton of health and can fly, so they need to ground it, which prompts the suit guy to ask how exactly they are supposed to do that. Their strategy session is cut short by the purple-haired girl screaming that the queen's charging its ultimate. This queen's ultimate is just birthing an entire army of minions from its gut. It is just raining down a fresh batch of angry-looking cannon fodder. And these new little guys look like weaponized, glowing jellyfish bots. A whole swarm of them now lines the floor, ready for orders. Chenmo pitches his big idea, telling the others it is their only shot. Suit guy is on board since the alternative is a total party wipe. With that, the newly formed Suicide Squad charges right in, as our boy immediately does another stat reset, going all in on agility. He radios the team, telling them to be the bait so he can get close. Suit guy, back in beast mode, just tells him to go for it. He's got a look on his face that says this is gonna hurt you. His allies can only watch as he goes full-on Super Tiger mode, and he looks absolutely feral, ready to tear something apart. He knows the risks but charges anyway, yelling it is now or never. This queen unleashes its eye lasers, but he has got clones to soak the damage. He is on a timer, burning through health and begging his new brother to hurry. Meanwhile, Chenmo spots the boss's biggest weakness, its wings, so he gets up close and personal with one of the new minions, vowing to give the queen a taste of its own medicine. A system prompt pops up. He can copy the minion's code. He slaps the yes button, ready to yoink that minion's code, but as he tries to copy-paste the whole army, he gets an insufficient storage error. Classic. Chenmo just deadpans, realizing his inventory is not a bottomless bag of holding after all. Still, he figures the few he snagged should be enough to ruin the queen's day. He then yells at the purple-haired girl for a ride up to the boss, who says it is too far but agrees to give it her best shot anyway. With a massive power-up scream, she channels all her energy for the assist. While up above, the queen is just floating there, completely unaware of the shenanigans. Except Chenmo does not need a ride anymore, he just sprouted his own wings. He lands right on the queen's back, ready to deploy his little surprise package, and out come his copied minions, a bunch of tiny, angry ants. These little guys immediately start chewing on the queen's wing joint, one of them getting a solid bite in right at the base. A big red warning sign pops up on the queen's back. Uh-oh. This boss lets out a furious roar, finally feeling the sting, as his little ant army just keeps gnawing away at that critical spot. Over the radio, Chenmo tells everyone to brace for the big boom, and his copied minions all detonate at once in a massive explosion. Down below, the team just watches in awe as the queen's wing gets shredded, and now the queen is flashing red with an overheat warning, looking like it is about to go nuclear. This queen's body goes critical, unleashing a massive red shockwave, and inside their shield, the Tigerman and Tianzi brace for the blast. But after the light fades, the queen is still just floating there, looking annoyed, before unleashing another devastating explosion that rocks their world. This whole team is just holding their breath, hoping that was the final blow, staring at the smoking husk on the ground, asking if they finally killed it. But the suit guy warns them not to celebrate. No system notification means no kill, and right on cue, the corpse starts to twitch and rise from the rubble. Its old armor cracks and sheds, revealing something new underneath. Because of course this thing has a second health bar and a whole new form. Out comes a sleeker, deadlier version looking like a nightmare mantis, and Chenmo immediately screams for everyone to scatter, plan officially out the window. This new queen summons a storm of crystal spikes from the ground, which brutally impales the suit guy as he tries to dodge. He gets thrown back, shielding Tianzi with his own body once again. While Chenmo and the purple-haired girl are also sent flying from the shockwave, our boy realizes the boss is now in a final frenzy mode, stats totally maxed out, and Tianzi rushes to his boss, who is bleeding out on the ground for the second time today. This purple-haired girl just screams a warning that it is coming for them, as the new and improved queen looms over the survivors, ready for the wipe. Tianzi screams a last-ditch warning as the queen comes for his boss. But the shield shatters instantly, sending the poor guy flying, and he gets skewered right through the chest for his loyalty. Yikes. He's just left bleeding out on the rocks, completely done for. With his last man down, the queen looms over the suit guy for the kill, but the purple-haired girl leaps in, landing on its massive scythe. She tries to pin it down with her gravity control, actually managing to hold the monster's arm in place for a second. For a brief moment, she thinks they might actually have a chance, as the queen is just hanging there, temporarily immobilized, until it just overpowers her completely, slamming her into the ground. She gets absolutely crushed by the impact, totally helpless. When Chenmo zips in to catch her midair, she is completely defeated, muttering that it is all over now, but our boy just glares at the boss, clearly not ready to give up yet. Then he remembers a last resort item he has been saving, a little green pill. Recalling it is a strange capsule he picked up earlier, his final gamble. This system reveals it is a universal forest sprout, a seed for an instant forest. Okay, sure. He just says screw it and crushes the capsule, unleashing its power, and tiny seeds scatter across the cavern floor, immediately starting to glow. And just like that, an entire forest erupts from the ground. Massive trees sprouting in seconds, turning the whole cave into a jungle. This queen is suddenly tangled in the foliage, and the survivors realize it is trapped. Its visor glows with pure, unadulterated rage at this inconvenience. As the monster thrashes around, caught in a web of wood and chains, it swings its scythes wildly, trying to just hack its way free. But the magical forest has it completely pinned down for the moment. This queen starts glowing, preparing to brute force its way out of this mess, unleashing a massive sonic scream that shatters the very air. That blast sends Chenmo and the girl flying back once again, leaving the whole party scattered and broken on the rocks. This suit guy just says it is hopeless, they are way too underleveled for this final form. Chenmo clenches his fist, refusing to just lie down and die. So the dying boss makes him a final, desperate offer. He proposes a way for Chenmo to level up instantly, though everyone's a little skeptical. Backing it up with a threat, betray him and his crew on the outside will find them. His grand plan is for Chenmo to kill him for the exp. Well, that is a twist. A system prompt reveals the guy is a wanted player with a massive bounty on his head. His last loyal friend Tianzi begs him not to go through with it, but the boss is dead set on this sacrifice, telling him it is the only way. Tianzi is just breaking down, begging his boss to live and blaming himself for everything. But the suit guy just yells at them to stop whining and tells Chenmo to get on with it, leaving our boy staring at his gun, processing that this guy is a wanted red name. But Tianzi leaps in to shield his boss, pleading with Chenmo not to be fooled by the bounty. He explains their whole tragic backstory. They were just construction workers replaced by AI. And now he is full-on prostrating himself, pleading for his boss's life. Talk about loyalty. This purple-haired girl watches this unfold, realizing their situation is a lot like her own, which kicks off her tragic backstory. She was once a virtual streamer with millions of fans, living the high life, just her and her selfie stick against the world. But then AI streamers took over because of course they did, no sleep required. And any new idea she had was immediately stolen and perfected by the AI, leaving her totally screwed, which led her straight to rock bottom with a bank account that is just sad to look at. Even low and manual labor was off the table, already outsourced to cheaper AI machines. So this desperation led her to betray her own friend in the game, kill or be killed. And in the end, even her best friend turned on her for profit, but she was the one left standing. Meanwhile, the suit guy reflects that this game is full of psychos, but some people still die for their friends. And Chenmo realizes even this beast has principles, unlike a mindless killer. After all that, the purple-haired girl thinks maybe, just maybe, she can trust people again, just as the queen starts glowing, clearly not a fan of this whole being trapped thing. And with no time left, the suit guy screams at Chenmo to kill him and get the others out, making him promise. Chenmo hardens his expression, making the only choice he has left, and promises the dying boss he will see it through despite Tianzi's desperate pleas. With a final, peaceful smile, the suit guy just says thanks and fades away. A system notification immediately confirms the kill, a massive bounty, and a full version 2 upgrade, which our boy notes is a pleasant surprise, to say the least. Now juiced up on some morally gray XP, he declares it is time for a counterattack. He lays out a new plan for the survivors. He will draw aggro, they will restrain the boss. But they point out a tiny problem: their skills do not combo and are way too weak. Chenmo just tells them to follow his lead anyway because this is their last chance. Having no better ideas, they both grimly agree to the plan. He dramatically announces Operation Decapitation, gotta give it a cool name, right? And with that, the three of them sprint towards the final boss. This queen immediately brings a massive scythe leg crashing down to meet them, and as it looms over them, Chenmo yells for them to move now. Its giant blade smashes into the ground, missing them by inches, creating an opening for Chen-mo to fly past and tell Tianzi to get on. Tianzi scrambles up the monster's rocky limb, screaming the entire way up. At the same time, the purple-haired girl uses her gravity control to pin the arm down. While Tianzi plants himself on its back and summons a massive energy shield, Chen-mo then yells for her to focus all her gravity power onto that shield, making their own combo on the fly. Chen-mo screams at them to give it everything they have got, and the purple-haired girl grits her teeth, pushing her power to the absolute limit. She just lets out a raw scream, pouring all her gravity magic into the attack, which, combined with Tianzi's shield, actually pins the queen's scythe down. With the monster's arm finally immobilized, Chen-mo sees his opening, giving his team a quick great job before preparing his own finisher. Our boy summons a massive, gluttonous energy serpent. Time for dinner. This giant green snake lunges straight for the queen's head, jaws wide open, clamping down hard on its neck as sparks fly from the impact. But a system prompt tells him the attack is not strong enough to finish it. So he makes a desperate call, telling the system to transfer all his stats to the snake. This serpent immediately gets a massive power-up, now crackling with blue lightning, and with its newfound strength it bites down again, aiming to crush the boss completely. Their final, desperate combo culminates in a massive, screen-shaking explosion, followed by a system notification that they have actually cleared the dungeon. This queen's body shatters into pieces as a 5-minute evac timer begins. All three survivors just stare in absolute disbelief. They somehow pulled it off. This purple-haired girl is the first to snap out of it, cheering with pure relief. But Tianzi just looks up at the sky, tears streaming down his face, screaming that they did it for his boss, a victory that cost absolutely everything. Chen-mo catches his breath, admitting this D-rank dungeon was no joke. But then a system prompt appears. It has detected the suit guy's leftover data, clarifying it is just trash that is about to be deleted in 1 minute. Without a second thought, he screams at the system to copy it anyway, and it actually works, leaving him holding the fragmented data of the man he just killed. This system says resurrection is off the table, but the data can be repaired from the recycle bin, which is, of course, the Eye's core database, making it a complete suicide mission. He then pulls up an old MVP ranking list, searching for a specific name. And he finds it number 1 on the list, his sister Jin Can. This purple-haired girl peeks over his shoulder and the name rings a bell, confirming she actually met a girl with that exact name before. This triggers a flashback to a different game facing a massive Medusa boss, where the main rule was a classic: whatever you do, do not look into her eyes, because one glance meant getting hit with a petrification ray, instant party wipe. And after a whole lot of sacrifices, they figured out the weakness was, ironically, her eyes. There was just one tiny flaw in that plan: you cannot really aim with your eyes closed. That is, until a girl in a high-tech suit showed up to solve the problem, who just calls the screaming players noisy, totally unimpressed by the chaos. She calmly raises a ridiculously oversized cannon ready to get to work, and the weapon powers up, glowing with some serious boss-deleting energy. She fires a massive beam right back at the Medusa, no hesitation, and the boss's eyes flare up, ready to turn the whole party to stone. But its petrification ray completely misses as she zips out of the way. This girl just smirks like this is just another Tuesday for her. With insane speed, she dodges and repositions for the kill shot, lining up her cannon with absolute precision, and a single blast completely obliterates the Medusa, ending the fight instantly. This flashback ends with her landing, totally unfazed by the whole thing. Back in the present, the purple-haired girl confirms she was lucky enough to team up with that monster-tier player. Chen-mo is baffled. Why would someone that powerful be slumming it in a D-rank dungeon? He recalls the stream replay where the killer's face was hidden and realizes it has to be his sister. Something feels off, so he asks the system to pull all footage of her from that stream. And what he sees makes his jaw drop. This system brings up dozens of clips showing his sister was never alone, because this mysterious masked guy was always right next to her. This purple-haired girl immediately recognizes him as that annoying guy from the raid. She complains he was like a bodyguard, never letting anyone get close enough to get carried by Can's power. A dark thought hits Chen-mo: maybe his sister was being controlled. With only 3 minutes left, he grabs the girl, demanding any other details she remembers. And Tianzi suddenly pipes up, recalling the guy had one red eye and one blue, naming a potential suspect. Tianzi confirms the name, saying he has definitely met that guy before, which kicks off his own flashback to a shady back alley deal with his boss, where they were buying a red name item when some rando tried to steal it. And this guy just straight up tries to snatch the tracker they just bought, real classy. He's all pissed off, complaining about the lack of honor among thieves, which is rich, getting right in the suit guy's face about how there are no rules anymore. But his tough guy act completely shatters in a split second, because he has just laid eyes on the masked bodyguard from the stream. In walks the mystery man, radiating some serious, do not even breathe in my direction energy. And the thug immediately starts sweating, asking if there is a problem. But the masked guy just grabs his wrist, shutting him down without a single word. Just like that, the confrontation is over before it even started, as his buddies tell him to back off, warning him this dude is way out of their league. Back in the present, Tianzi is still haunted by the memory of his killer eyes, explaining that even his boss called the guy a ruthless monster you just do not mess with. Chen-mo just hardens his resolve, vowing to cut down anyone who gets in his way. With the dungeon timer counting down, the survivors prepare to log out, and Tianzi entrusts his boss's data to Chen Mo, hoping for a miracle as he dematerializes. His exit is less than graceful, glitching out with a final, confused scream. This scene then cuts to a sterile lab where a body lies on a table, surrounded by scientists. And we cut to Chen Mo's sister, Jin Can, strapped to a table in some creepy lab. Her eyes suddenly snapping wide open. She immediately sits up, breaking the restraints as scientists just watch on, and gets to her feet completely unfazed by the whole ordeal. A guy in a suit congratulates her on a perfect mission, just oozing corporate slime, then generously informs her that her debt is now only 1/3 paid off. She is so not in the mood for small talk, demanding her next assignment, yelling at him from across the sterile room to get his attention. Her handler gives her the new target, a B-rank player who needs to be executed. This player apparently pissed off the higher-ups and knows too much, which is a big no-no. So he casually threatens to blow up her pretty face if she fails. HR must love this guy. She agrees, but only if they keep their promise to leave her brother alone. With the deal made, she heads off to her next grim task, wondering how her idiot big brother is surviving without her. It is clear she is doing all of this just to keep him safe from these people. Her resolve hardening as she vows to keep working until they can be together again. Meanwhile, back with Chen Mo, the instance closes and his attempt to copy the queen's data fails spectacularly, leaving him stunned, wondering if he just annihilated the boss a little *2* hard. But he feels something in the closing portal and starts pulling with all his might. And out crawls a completely new girl in a high-tech suit, complaining about the commute. This new system NPC girl stretches, complaining about her back hurting, a tough day at the office, but she is suddenly caught completely off guard by a voice from the shadows. And it is Chen Mo, realizing this tiny thing was controlling the boss this whole time. This system prompt finally pops up, congratulating him on becoming MVP. And with his rewards delivered, the little NPC tells him to scram so the system can rest. Chen Mo, however, is not even remotely impressed by her little act. With a casual snap of his fingers, his giant energy snake reappears and he tells her she is on the menu now. This girl absolutely panics as the serpent lunges right for her, screaming that she is a protected NPC who cannot be harmed as it chomps down. Then the horror sinks in, he is literally devouring her data. All that bravado completely shatters as she begs for her life. Immediately offering to submit and call him master, real principled, he actually considers it, realizing she could be a key to gaining AI permissions. So he plucks the tiny NPC right out of the snake's mouth. Holding her in his palm, he asks how he can possibly trust her. And she launches into a desperate sales pitch, promising to merge systems and wipe her memories clean. This little AI waits nervously, her entire existence on the line, as he agrees but warns her that one wrong move means getting eaten for real. With the deal struck, he prepares to absorb his brand new, very nervous system upgrade. This little NPC is all smiles, calling him master. She knows a good career move when she sees one, and she gets real cozy as a system prompt asks to confirm the fusion, because of course it does. With his yes, she dissolves into a stream of pure data, the upgrade process kicking off, her form completely remade by his power, a glowing core in a sea of code. This model fusion completes with a final surge of energy, a brand new summon is born. She reappears in his palm, looking a little drained but with a whole new look. Immediately trying the seduction route, asking if he trusts her now, subtlety is not her strong suit. Chen Mo is having none of it, recalling her and getting the official Queen Ant summon notification. As he logs out, his form glitches, his thoughts fixed on getting closer to his sister. Meanwhile, at some high-class event, a so-called game critic named Master Lee takes the stage. He is asked to review the dungeon clear, admitting he was surprised 3 people even survived. This guy then drops a hot take. D-rank dungeons are almost as hard as a rank, which sounds completely insane. Master Lee just smirks, adjusting his glasses like the smug expert he is, explaining on a massive city screen that D-rank is where overconfident newbies go to die. Back at the studio, they ask him to give Chen Mo's team a score for their performance, and he takes a slow, dramatic sip of tea before giving them a simple passing grade. But that grade is all for Chen Mo, praising his leadership under extreme pressure. He even gives a nod to the purple-haired girl, saying she's got commander potential too. Elsewhere, a totally different crew is watching, with one guy saying Chen Mo is strong enough to join their group, Pajun. He then turns to a woman named Fei Ying, asking for her take on their new prospect, but Fei Ying immediately shuts that idea down, flat-out disagreeing with him, explaining that Chen Mo's sister leveled up by killing a red name player on her own team. And she is absolutely not trusting someone that ruthless to watch her back. Fair enough. This leaves her 2 buddies in a very awkward silence, just staring at their drinks. This group leader decides they will just watch Chen Mo for now, since good talent is hard to come by. Then we cut to a quiet building, presumably a dorm the next day, where Chen Mo is completely knocked out, his phone buzzing away beside him. He groggily wakes up to a call from an unknown number, and sits up, realizing he slept until 1 in the afternoon before finally answering. It is Su Tian, the guy from the dungeon, absolutely losing his mind that his boss is alive and pledging eternal loyalty. With some time on his hands, Chen Mo decides it is time to check out that black market Su Tian mentioned, telling him on the phone to set up a meeting and send the location. After hanging up, he immediately starts dialing another number, deciding to call the purple-haired girl to cross-reference some information. Later, in a sketchy-looking back alley, someone calls out his name, and it is Su Tian waving him over, though Chenmo has no clue who this guy is. Turns out, without his hat, Su Tian looks like a completely different person, and the purple-haired girl is with him. Su Tian is all buddy-buddy now, telling Chenmo to drop the formal mister. So our boy turns to the hooded girl, asking if she is Xia Xiu. And she immediately shushes him because you do not just shout names out in a place like this. Chenmo notes they look totally different from their avatars, and Su Tian just nervously laughs it off. But the purple-haired girl explains it as a safety measure. You do not want your real face out there, which everyone agrees is just common sense in their line of work. Suddenly, a restaurant owner pops out, trying to lure them in with his signature chicken dishes. And Su Tian quickly explains the code. White-cut chicken is legit business. Spicy chicken is not. Playing his part, Su Tian tells the guy they are here for the spicy chicken because the other stuff is too bland for them, and the boss just smirks, asking if they want the fresh batch or the premium aged stuff. So Su Tian puffs out his chest, saying money is no object and they will take the best he has got. This owner loves their style, immediately inviting them to a private room upstairs. He gets a little too friendly, putting a hand on Su Tian's shoulder to lead the way. But then his tone shifts, saying he recognizes Su Tian but not his friends. Turns out this guy is just the doorman, explaining he is only the middleman for the real employer. His gaze lands squarely on Chenmo, sizing up the newcomer with a thoughtful expression. Deciding they pass the vibe check, he says they have not broken any rules by having a guide. But he gives Su Tian a final warning: if anything goes wrong, it is all on him. Meanwhile, Xia Xiu is completely lost, whispering for someone to please explain the secret chicken language. They are led into a back kitchen where the middleman clears his throat for a little orientation, laying down the classic rules of any shady deal: do not ask, do not look, and do not cause trouble. With the lecture over, he turns the knob on a very unassuming wooden door, revealing a massive hidden black market street teeming with people. Welcome to the underground. Chenmo and Xia Xiu are just trying to look casual, not entirely succeeding, as their guide smirks, telling them to come on in, revealing a sprawling, grimy alleyway packed with shady characters, and it is a full-blown black market with vendors hawking intel and illegal gear. Immediately, some women try to hit on Chenmo while thugs shake down a merchant. Welcome to the neighborhood. And Xia Xiu is not having it, grabbing onto his jacket for dear life. But their guide just tells them to relax, explaining that money is the only law here, though he warns that without strength they are just sheep waiting for the slaughter. Su Tian confirms this place is a lawless melting pot, which gets Chenmo asking about the 10 Yama kings he has heard mentioned, his expression unreadable as he takes in the chaotic scene. So Su Tian whispers that they are the 10 biggest bosses running this whole operation. Their guide stops dead in his tracks, clearly overhearing their little chat, announcing that this is as far as his tour goes. But first, they have to pass a little test to prove they are not just tourists, and with a click of some kind of remote, a giant black cube materializes out of thin air, dropping right on top of them, trapping the trio inside as it slams to the ground. This guide gives them the terms: solve the puzzle in 1 minute or die in the box. Su Tian immediately loses it, kicking the wall and screaming threats, a solid start to their problem solving. Their guide just scoffs from outside, saying the titanium walls are unbreakable. While inside, Xia Xiu points out a floating screen of code as Su Tian starts to panic, and the whole crew just stares at the string of numbers, their new high-tech prison cell, which turns out to be a sequence equation, a pop quiz with a very permanent F. Chenmo, however, just smirks, realizing this is a custom-made test just for him. Su Tian desperately asks if he can figure it out, and our boy says he will give it a shot. So Xia Xiu gives him a cutesy little cheer because that is super helpful right now. Her face immediately drops though, showing just how terrified she actually is. And Su Tian is right there with her, sweating absolute buckets. He whispers to her, asking if she even gets what Chenmo is doing, which she does not. This pressure is already giving him a massive headache. And then comes the full-blown meltdown, screaming that he is an idiot who is about to die. Outside, the guide is monologuing about how Chenmo must be paralyzed by the complexity, but our boy's eyes are just reflecting the data stream, his brain already in overdrive. He instantly deciphers the pattern, seeing the simple logic hidden in the chaos. And he is almost insulted they'd test him with something this basic. Talk about an ego. With the timer at 4 seconds, he has found the solution. And at 3, his fingers are already flying across a virtual keyboard, while everyone else braces for impact as the countdown hits 2. Then at the last possible second, the answer flashes on screen: 52,914. This cube just explodes into a million pieces, and Chenmo stands there like he just ordered takeout. Their guide is on the ground, absolutely losing his mind. A look of pure, unadulterated awe on his face. He is a fan now. Up on a bridge, a whole new crew of suits has been watching the show, and their leader finds this whole thing very, very interesting. One of his guys asks if this Lord Luo is overhyping the kid, but the boss just says there is more to Chenmo than meets the eye. Of course, some hooded goon scoffs that a C rank is basically worthless. But Lord Luo is not having it, telling them he has big plans for Chenmo. So the whole squad just parkours off the bridge to say hello, crashing down with enough force to crack the pavement. Very subtle. This leader praises him, revealing he knows Chenmo's old job title. This gets our boy's attention, wondering who this powerful man is. So Lord Luo strolls right up, asking if Chenmo recognizes him. He then grabs him by the jacket, closing the distance fast, saying he has heard all about Engineer Chen, it seems. This guy lays it all out: his history, his importance to the game's creation. And then he whispers the big one. He knows Chenmo can bring people back. Chenmo's hand clenches into a fist. The game just got real. With Lord Luo still grabbing him, Su Tian starts freaking out. He is desperately pleading their case, stammering about the underworld code. Su Tian whispers a quick rundown. This is Luo Tian, a Yama king, so play nice. Adding that their presence is as oppressive as a C-rank players. Chenmo internally questions if game rank can actually affect someone's real-world presence. But Lord Luo just scoffs, mocking them for even mentioning rules. Because in this place, he declares his word is the only law. Xiaoxiu tells Su Tian to please shut up before he gets them all murdered, a solid team dynamic. Chenmo cuts right through the tension, asking if this whole show of force has a point. Which gets a big laugh out of Lord Luo, who says he loves dealing with smart people. He then reaches into his coat pocket for something, pulling out a device to make a deal because nothing is free here. Our boy just stares at the device, asking what he wants in return, and Lord Luo just gives him this incredibly smug, sinister grin. Holding up one finger, he lays out the time frame: 1 week. This deal is this: hit C rank in that time and he will trade the reanimation method for the intel. Otherwise, he laughs, there is absolutely nothing left to talk about.